Hello, everyone. Welcome back, and hope you all are doing well. Today, we are diving into a super important Azure networking concept, which is virtual network peering. If you are preparing for a cloud role, Azure certification, or just trying to level up your networking game, this is something you definitely need to know. So, by the end of this video, we'll cover the first. We'll start with a review existing environment, looking at what all we have, and the aim is to connect two virtual networks so that the network communication can happen between these two VNets among the resources or between the resources. Uh, Deploy test virtual machines. We will have virtual machines deployed in both the VNets so that we can do the testing, and this will be basically the testing and the verification that we'll do. So let's quickly review what we have here right now. So if you see, I already have created two VNets. VNet 1, which is in East US, VNet 2, which is in East US 2, and uh, the a quick tip: overlapping IP ranges will break the peering. So before, whenever you have any request from your customer to do the peering between two VNets, make sure you verify the IP, uh, their address spaces, so that they should not be overlapping. So if we look at these two VNets, just to make sure, yes, what IP ranges we have here. So we'll do the quick validation, and then we'll move on with the peering. All right, it's taking a bit, so let's just quickly wait here. Not sure why it's taking too much time. You have options like, if you click on overview, it gives you the complete information of your VNet from here. And if specifically you need to verify the IP, the address spaces, you can always come here under settings, and even you can add the any additional address spaces if you need as you go and as the account grow in future. And this is basically the subnets that you have. You click on and you view all the subnets you have existing in your VNet, or if in case you want to add and create any further subnets, you can simply compare and see that. So it's taking time. Let me quickly refresh. Let me click on VNet 2 and see if it does any good. Seems something from the Azure backbone network, because it's running a bit slow. Sometime it happens let me quickly refresh the whole browser here and see if okay, it should be coming here. Mhm. Let me get back to the virtual network where we can see both the VNets side by side. Sorry for this delay. It's very unusual. Okay, great. Thanks. Finally, it has come up. Okay, so now we can see for VNet 1, the IP address space is like not this. And for VNet 2, I hope it should bring up the information. So as we have for VNet 1, 10.0.0.0/16. For VNet 2, I have I have given the address space, which is 10.10.0.0/16. Uh, so there should not be overlap, and I just want to show you before I move on to doing the configuration, like the VNet peering. All right, now here you can see that this is right at top address space, which is 10.10.0.0/16. So now what we had in the agenda, we have already verified the existing environment. We do have two VNets with two different address spaces. Now we'll do the peering between these two VNets. Okay, so let's move on. And for doing the peering, since we are at, like, we are in VNet 2, so we'll simply click on, you can do it from either side, and we'll click on pairings and click on add here. Uh, let's just wait for, so we are trying to do this pairing from VNet 2, and it's very strange, like it's running very slow today, the whole Azure portal. Sometime back when I logged in today for the first time, it was working absolutely fine. Not sure if something is okay. Cool. So now here, left side, if you see add peering, remote virtual network summary. So here, since we are trying from VNet 2, the remote would be VNet 1, VNet 1, 2, VNet 2. All right, this is the remote virtual network, and this would be the the other network would be the VNet 1. Okay, now let me just copy this, and this is the local, so it would the other VN 2, and I'll use 1 here. And here, if you look at under remote virtual network peering settings, I have it's already by default checked allow VNet 1 to access VNet 2. Uh, and here, if you see allow VNet 2 to access VNet 1, so we look good here, and that should be all. We can click on add. Hope it generally takes a couple of seconds to complete the verification, and because it has to go a couple of uh, through checks, and then do the complete the peering between both the VNets. So generally it takes a couple of seconds. Let's just wait. On the top right side, if you click here, this bell icon, always you can refer this for any of the tasks that you have initiated. All right, great. So good news that you can see here, it shows successfully synchronized connected for VNet 2. We'll do quick validation from VNet 1 as well, just to see uh, it's showing the same thing here. Let's just wait for a couple of seconds while we see, and make sure, yes, it's the same what we saw from VNet 2 being shown here from VNet 1 as well. So while it's going on, like, think of VNet peering like a private tunnel between two networks. No internet involved, no gateways needed for the communication and connection between these two VNets. And it's very fast, secure communication inside the Azure's backbone network. So it's very pretty cool uh, uh, thing that we have when it comes to a lot of customers I've seen coming across be core using the Azure only, or even if they are using AVS, Azure, VMware solution. It's always good to use the this VNet peering, which easily and very quickly establishes the communication between both the VNets. Uh, now we have AVS 1, Azure VMware Solution 1, Gen 1, and AVS Gen 2, which is AVS VMware Solution Gen 2. So these two offerings we have from Microsoft. If any customer wants to move and use the same VMware platform in Azure cloud. So what happens, I'm just thinking sharing a couple of further information which are not relevant and needed for this video, but since we're just waiting, I thought sharing that. So even in Gen 2, AVS Gen 2 is getting deployed by design inside a VNet, and a customer who already had their environment and a couple of other more VNets in Azure, then it becomes very easy just doing the pairing and then have the communication bi-directional and using for their applications for any dependent or any uh, like uh, WAF services or any load balancer services. So not sure if still it has not come. Let me quickly refresh it and see if it does any better. Okay, I hope that it should. Though I'm pretty confident, what we saw from VNet 2, we should see the same uh, information from the VNet 1 as well, because if VNet 2 is showing the pairing successful, then we should see from VNet 1 as well successful. If there was any problem, then definitely VNet 2 would not show the same. So while we wait here, let's just keep this window moving and trying to load. I have the another window, so I can just get back here and so now the next step what we had, since the VNet peering has already been completed. Now next we had having two virtual machines in each VNet, so we can do the testing. So let's quickly verify if we have two virtual machines here. I had already deployed uh, one virtual machine in VNet. I guess that was the lead in. So if we do not have virtual machines, then we'll quickly go ahead and use the PowerShell to deploy two virtual machines in each VNet. Hmm, it's really strange. It generally does not take that much time to bring it. It's a bit sluggish sometime, but not like this. What can uh, we can see here right now. Hmm. Not sure what's wrong with whether something wrong with my system, but everything is working fine except this Azure portal. So I expect this something from the Azure side. I assumed initially to complete this video in 10 minutes time, but it's taking a bit time because of this sluggish behavior from Azure portal. So just bear with me, guys. Hmm, this is really not good. I do not like that. This being this much slow. Okay, hope that it should. Hey, Azure portal, just help us so we can complete this quickly. I've just tried on the other screen using the other like the browser, and seems like it's the same behavior. All right, so we do not have any virtual machine here. So what we'll do, we'll quickly go ahead and create one, create two virtual machines, uh, one in each VNet. So if you see here, I've already created one PowerShell script to deploy the virtual machine. So I'll just quickly run this, and I need to supply the credential. So let me quickly copy paste. Great. So here at the bottom left, you see this has initiated the deployment of virtual machine. So what I'm doing here, let me quickly cover what all I have and I'm trying to deploy. So if you see here, the new virtual machine, the resource group that I already have. So the name that I have given VM1, location East US, and I'm trying to deploy this in VNet 1. And this is a subnet name, the size, and the security group, and the public IP address. And I'm trying to open the port as well, so that we should be able to reach like this ICMP protocol. And same I'll use once I get this, the first one deployed. I'll deploy the VM2 as well here, the VM2 in the VNet to the other one that I have. And and then we should be good to go and do the testing. And I'll need one more command to but I'll have to log into to the RDP. Okay, so the first one seems has already been deployed. Great news. Let me initiate the deployment for the second virtual machine. All right, great. Uh, So while it's getting deployed, let's head back here and no luck. It's still struggling and trying to bring up the information. So okay. So this should be absolutely fine. It's not coming up. So let's do one thing. Let's get back to the virtual machine that we have just deployed. So we can always get back here, no problem. Let's go to the virtual machine. All right, this is still getting deployed. The bottom side here, you can see creating virtual resources. So fine with that. Let this keep moving and creating a virtual machine for us. So no problem on that. Hmm. All right, let's just wait. At times it happens, like in customers call as well. I've I've observed uh, it runs sometime very sluggish, and then you will have to keep your patience. Okay, now so I can see the virtual machine. Let me just get uh, all right, great. Now, so here you can see that. Let's use PowerShell. Okay, now you see here resource group and virtual machine 1, virtual machine 2, both have already been deployed and seems like no successful status, right? And great, good that we have here. And if I just quickly refresh, let me see if, okay, great. We can see here, I can minimize and I can go to virtual machine 1. Mm, still struggling the other window. So great. So we for VM1, which is in VNet 1, we see public IP here, and we see the private IP as well. So let's copy the public IP and do RDP. And I'll use the credential. Let's try to connect. Okay, great. It's connecting. So this is going to be the last part that we need to cover. So I'll bring this a bit left side. This is VM1 in VNet 1. And while it's coming up, let's move to VM2. And we see here public IP and we see the private IP. Okay, so let's copy and do the RDP. You can use MSTSC and simply uh, Azure admin. That's what I'm using here. So let me try to connect. Please come up. Password. Supply the password. And hope it should be happy. And let us to connect. Okay, cool. Fine. We'll keep this the second VM virtual machine, left side, and okay, let me open up PowerShell because that's what we would be using to do the network testing. Uh, Let me it's increase the font size here, 20. I hope that it should be good now. And PowerShell. Let me adjust the font for the second virtual machine as well. Uh, Let me adjust further. Okay, this looks good. So let me change it, this one as well. All right, so if you see here, hostname VM2, hostname VM1, okay? And in order to this virtual machine allow us to connect to the second virtual machine in VNet, we know that every Windows machine has its own firewall. So we'll have to allow that firewall. Uh, I would strongly recommend do not allow this what I'm gonna do right now because this is the lab in your production or in your staging environment or customer's environment. It's always maintained by the policy. So do not try here. It Windows would not allow to connect like if I ping here, if you see that, and let me just quickly go and go back to the window here. The you see that 10.10.04, right? And if I reach 10.04, it will not go. So we'll have to basically it's getting timed out, right? So we'll have to uh, allow this by net firewall firewall rule new okay, sorry, and then a display name. Oh, what I'll do, I'll just give allow ICMP v4 in, just keeping it identical, uh, and then protocol ICMP v4. This is what we need. So I'll just click on that. Great, it's done. I'll have to allow here as well. So new net firewall rule. Hmm, mm, just wait. Okay, cool. And then display name, grain, allow ICMP, ICMP, ICMP v4 in protocol ICMP v4 ICMP v4. Now, great. Now I'm gonna do this ping test now, which is the final grain. Hope everything should work now. Uh, Great. So uh, now you can see that it's working absolutely fine, and this VM1 from VNet 1 is good and very happy. and reachable to VM2. Right. So now for the fun, let's like this ping is working absolutely fine. So if everything is configured correctly, then it should be absolutely fine. If by any chance you try and it's not working, then it's always wise to check network security crew, verify peering status from both VNet 1 and VNet 2, both sides. And the last part, what I would say is make sure ICMP is allowed both sides. But ideally, you should see those beautiful reply messages it's working fine if everything is in place. So we have just successfully configured Azure Virtual Network peering, and uh, like you know uh, we deployed virtual machines as well to do the testing, and it's working absolutely the way we wanted and we were expecting. So now your environment is ready, and you can connect multiple VNets, build a scalable architecture, and design real world cloud environments. So from here, absolutely good to go, move on. So if you found this helpful, drop a like, comment if you have any questions, and subscribe for more Azure Labs and the cloud tutorial. So with that, I'm gonna stop here, and hope to see you in next one. Have a good day. Take care.